If you've ever asked yourself, is the food actually good at Excellence El Carmen, or am I going to live off buffet bread and watered down mojitos? You are in the right place. Welcome to New Travel Escapes. I'm Nancy, and we've just spent a week at this luxury adults-only all-inclusive resort in Punta Cana, and today we're giving you a full walkthrough of every restaurant and bar and a few honest opinions that you're not going to find on the resort website. So let's dive right into it. When you choose to vacation at an all-inclusive resort, you're paying for all of your food and drinks in advance. So for us, it's really important to know the quality as well as the restaurants before we book a particular resort. We have already given you a resort walkthrough video as well as our Excellence El Carmen complete review video, so if you haven't seen those yet, I'll link them right here. Excellence El Carmen serves up 12 dining venues ranging from casual beachfront lunches to full white tablecloth dinners. Some are open every day, others rotate based on occupancy, and some may close with zero warning, so check the app or the guest schedule daily. You've got 6 a la carte restaurants, 1 main buffet, 1 beachfront lunch grill, 2 alfresco poolside eateries, 2 food trucks, 1 sports bar with food, and 1 club-exclusive restaurant. It's a lot, so here's what you should know before sitting down. Breakfast starts at the kitchen table, the resort's massive buffet and arguably the loudest room on property. But it gets the job done. Omelets, Dominican specialties, fruit, pastries, juices, and a bit of a coffee bar. Let's have a look around the breakfast buffet because it tells you a lot about any given resort and to what level they prioritize food. It's also a good indicator of the overall food quality at the resort. So that's why I like to take our time and actually show you around the buffet. I could probably add another 10 minutes to this video going through the buffet, but I think this gives you a general idea of the food quality and the way Excellence does things. So I'll show you the pastries and then we'll move on. If you book a club level suite, you have the option of Magna for breakfast. This one's quieter, calmer, and way more refined than that buffet. Real espresso, a fresh pastry cart, yeah, a cart, a small but elegant menu, and attentive service. Easily the best way to start the day, assuming you booked club level. I'm going to tell you right up front though that in my opinion, I don't believe upgrading to club is necessary. I'll talk more about that when we come back to Magna for dinner. Lobster House is open for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, but it's not open every day for breakfast. And when it's closed, non-club guests have no a la carte option. That's a bit of a miss at a luxury property in my opinion. No one should be forced to eat buffet eggs before 9 a.m., but you always have the option of room service delivered to your suite, which you can enjoy in your terrace listening to the birds. At lunch, you've got some real options, and we'll stay right here at Lobster House. Their lunch options are pretty good, and I really enjoyed the quinoa salad and the mahi-mahi skewers. They're two of my favorite dishes. You'll notice that there's very often a plant-based vegetarian menu that follows the regular menu, and the vegetarian on our crew says that Excellence properties are always the easiest and best resort choices for her dietary needs. Las Olas is the restaurant that sits right on the beach, and it does double duty as a casual buffet with a la carte dishes. The view is gorgeous, the food is decent, there's a good variety, it is solid for a beach lunch spot. But it is just screaming for a daily live musician with a guitar or a band. I just love live music with lunch on the beach, but that's me. The La Placita food truck is a poolside favorite. Grab a burger, some fries, or a Dominican patty in your swimsuit. Fast, easy, and actually pretty tasty. There's also a poolside server taking pizza orders around the main pool, so if you really don't want to leave your chair, that's an option too. Oregano, or Oregano for my British friends, it hovers over the pool and is a hidden gem for lunch. Pastas are hit or miss, avoid the carbonara, but the pizzas are satisfying and the staff was excellent. Oregano and Lobster House are not necessarily open every day for lunch, but one of them almost always is an option for an a la carte lunch sitting over the pool. The grill is in the main building and is open for an a la carte lunch. If you want a quiet lunch with some air conditioning, then the grill is a great option.
Now, here in this restaurant, you will try the best plates for your main course, for the lunch. Hamburger, meatball pasta, good coffee, and so many cocktails international like margarita, Aperol spritz, and Coca-Cola.
Room service is available 24/7 if you're not feeling social. Menu variety is better than most resorts. Salads, burgers, pasta, full breakfast. Everything arrived hot and plated, not just tossed in takeout containers. It's not a bad option if you enjoy a nice lunch and a siesta, a quiet dinner in, or a late night snack. Dinner is where the resort starts showing off. Now let's go restaurant by restaurant. Basmati is Indian cuisine, and this one deserves its own standing ovation. The chef, originally from India and previously worked at Excellence in Mexico, the food here is legit. Not the generic resort curry stuff. Think tender Rogan Josh, spicy and aromatic chicken kadai, perfectly blistered cheese and garlic naan, and standout gulab jamun that made me consider going for thirds. If you live near a big Indian food scene like we do, this restaurant will still impress you. Back to Magna, which is the club exclusive restaurant for dinner. It's an elegant dining room with soft lighting, luxe finishes, and a menu that aims just a little bit higher than the rest. The tomahawk steak was actually delicious. The lamb dish, mine was perfectly cooked. We weren't wild about the overdressed salads, but the attention to detail here, foie gras, house-made jam, pastry carte, it all makes it feel a little bit like it's a cut above. I mentioned that in my opinion, upgrading to club isn't necessary. It is a nice indulgent add-on if it fits within your budget, but honestly, as with every Excellence property, and by the end of September we will have been to them all, club is not a necessity. So if it doesn't fit into your budget and you skip it, you won't really miss it. It's a nice extra, not a game changer. Now just note at Magna, outdoor dining here means secondhand cigar and cigarette smoke from the neighboring lounge terrace. If you're sensitive, dine inside. Chez Isabelle for French cuisine. It looks like fine dining, but the service was more casual friendly, not quite as polished as at the other properties. The menu was also limited compared to years past, and it seems that many of the Excellence properties have cut their menus, particularly at Chez Isabelle. Still, the food was good, it was well prepared. Just don't come expecting a full French tasting menu, and the quintessential French dessert, creme brulee, was not on the menu. Shocked me. We were celebrating our anniversary this trip, and they ended our meal with a surprise little cake. It was a beautiful touch. Flavor Market is where you go for Spanish tapas. Underrated and often overlooked, this was one of our favorites. Small bites, beautifully executed, and meant to be shared. Perfect for when you want a lighter dinner, or my favorite way to enjoy Flavor Market is ordering a few plates with some wine as an amazing starter, and then head to a different restaurant for dinner a couple hours later. Spice for Asian fusion and hibachi. Spice offers a la carte seating and Teppanyaki shows. It's fun, theatrical, and usually fully booked, so grab that reservation early. The hibachi menu includes sushi, stir-fry, and rice dishes. The flavors are mild for broad appeal, and the sushi was pretty basic but still satisfying. There's no need to make reservations for any of the restaurants with the exception of the Teppanyaki show cooking, which has a set start time. You can enjoy one restaurant for dinner, you can restaurant hop, or you can turn it into a progressive concept. If you find there's a wait at a table, just grab a seat somewhere and enjoy a cocktail. If you want to be sure not to miss any of the nightly entertainment, then be sure to go to dinner when the restaurant opens. We found in Punta Cana, overall at both Excellence properties, the meal service was much quicker than we expected. Some people like this and some people do not, but I thought I would mention it. Agave has Mexican cuisine. This place has flair. The decor is colorful, the margaritas are strong, and if you're in the mood for tacos, fajitas, or a giant burrito, this is your spot. Not gourmet Mexican, but bold, filling, and festive. The decor in this restaurant is really exciting. When you're packing your suitcase, be aware that a couple of the restaurants require long pants and collared shirts for men. Let's keep going with dinner. Lobster House. Here's where you'll find seafood over the pool and under the stars. All-inclusive resorts that have an extra charge for lobster. Excellence includes lobster, and there's no better place to eat it than at the Lobster House. You can choose how you want your lobster cooked and pick your favorite sides, but I do want to note, during lobster conservation season, they substitute large shrimp. If real lobster is a non-negotiable for your dream vacation, check before booking that your dates don't overlap with lobster season, which in the Dominican Republic runs from March 1st until June 30th. Oregano is back open again for dinner, and the dinner menu leans much more into Italian cuisine. Lasagna, cannelloni, and the tomato basil soup were delicious. The Grill Steakhouse, open for both lunch and dinner. It's got great indoor air conditioning or outdoor patio seating. We love the steakhouse here. Some highlights were the tuna tataki, the beach salad with honey dressing, calamari, and perfectly medium salmon. Along with the steak, of course. Also, don't miss the chocolate dessert with hazelnut gelato. It was an absolute win. Last is a restaurant bar combo, the Sports Bar. Located beside the Martini Bar, it is a late night hub when you want to watch a game, play some cards, shoot some pool with a beer, and enjoy some pub grub. Late night snacks can be found at Food Shark Food Truck beside the theater. This one seems to come and go. Sometimes it's out and other times it isn't. When it is, you can find fries and nachos and other late night bites here. Now that we looked at where you can eat, let's have a look at where you can grab a drink. The Martini Bar is the evening hub with skilled bartenders and a social vibe. Bliss is the Excellence Club Bar. It's peaceful and tucked near the back of the resort beside the club pools. Las Olas has a huge bar opposite the restaurant, right on the beach. Plenty of seating and a great space to relax in the shade. There is a swim-up bar in the main pool called Blue. It was fairly busy, but it's in an awkward location. It's kind of in this narrow, shaded area that gets congested with people standing around. It's not a good setup in my opinion, but for a swim-up bar, it does the job. Palms Bar and Cielo Bar are the classic beach bar setup for Excellence Club guests. The alcohol selections are a little bit higher level if you book club, but unless you're really particular on a specific alcohol, it's not something that will change your vacation much, in my opinion. You can have a decent look at the selection of the club alcohol when you look at these two bars. We can also have a look at one of the cocktail menus. Revive is the bar located near the main pool that has the most fruit juice options, and you can add a splash of liquor into your juice if you feel indulgent. Revive opens at 9 a.m., perfect for your morning smoothie and a beach walk. Stars Bar is the theater bar open in the evenings during the shows, and Allegria is the late night lounge open from 11 p.m. till 1 a.m. The last kind of bar is Aroma, the resort's coffee bar. Situated right near the restaurant area, they have many different coffee, tea, and snack options, as well as ice cream. We had a couple of rainy days the week we stayed, and this was a great spot to play a game of cards with a latte and some ice cream. The sandwiches are not at all impressive. I mean, really, when did peanut butter on white bread say luxury? But some of the cookies are decent. Aroma at both Dominican properties is really lacking in comparison to their Mexican cousins, but it still does the job. One big miss, the piano bar, is no longer open to guests. It's now only used for private functions, and this seems like a waste of an atmospheric space, in my opinion. There's also no dedicated pre-dinner bar near the main restaurant plaza, which feels like a missed opportunity to me. A cocktail lounge with live music here would be gold. They also told us that the X Lounge is now closed. I don't know why, but although we could go up and look around, they weren't servicing that area any longer. What the future holds for this space is anybody's guess. So there you have it. From early morning coffee and breakfast to beachside lunch, dinner, and late night munchies, the food options at Excellence El Carmen are plentiful. The food scene is varied, flavorful, and mostly very good. There are a few misses, and there were definitely some inconsistencies, but far more wins than losses. We find that the resorts in Punta Cana as a whole do not have the same level of dining as most resorts in Cancun, but in our opinion, Basmati, Magna, and the Grill are worth the hype, and definitely ones we repeated and really enjoyed. Room service and pool snacks are a great backup, and while the dining vibe is relaxed overall, there's real care in the food, especially for a large all-inclusive. If you're trying to compare this to Mexican Excellence properties, we'll be doing a deep dive comparison between all of the Excellence properties this winter, so stay tuned for those. We will have stayed at every one of them after we stay at the brand new Excellence Coral in September, and we will break down the pros and cons of each of them so you can figure out which one might be the best fit for you, and what you value most in your vacation. They are all the same brand, but with wildly different vibes and price points. In our next video, we'll break down all the suite options at Excellence El Carmen, from swim-ups to rooftop terraces, so stay tuned for that. If you're debating between this Excellence and Excellence Punta Cana, we have videos telling you about Excellence Punta Cana too, so check those out before you book. They are both Excellence properties, but they're very different. We also have videos on the channel about our recent trip to Excellence Riviera Maya and Excellence Oyster Bay in Jamaica. Check those videos out if you're comparing properties. If any of this helps you plan your vacation or decide if it's the right resort for you, hit subscribe, join our Facebook community, use our links in the description to find great prices on your next trip, and catch us in the next escape. We're New Travel Escapes, unsponsored, unfiltered, and unapologetically honest. See you next week, everybody. Bye.